Hi everyone, welcome. In this video, I am going to show you how to find sum of elements in an array. Let's take an example. Let's say there is an array of some elements like this 2, 1, some 9, 7, and 8. And we are going to find the sum of these elements in this array. And this is how the elements in an array get stored in the memory. You can see here there are like 5 elements and the index starts with array index starts with 0 and ends with 4, and we have 5 elements. So what we are going to do now is we are going to find the sum of all these elements. And how do we find the sum of these elements is array represent how do we represent the array is a of 0 represents the first element in the array, so it retrieves 2 here in this case. And this we are going to follow for all the other elements a of 1. So a of 1 is second element in the sense the element with the index 1, and you can see third element a of 2, a of 3, and a of 4. This is what we are going to do to find the sum of all the elements. And to do this, what we are going to do is, instead of like writing, we don't know how many elements the array can have, right? Here we just hard coding the array in like in some cases like we don't know the array size. So in that case we should have a generic variable and should iterate with this index variable. And you can see sum equal to a of I for the first time. So for the first time we will have only one number and we'll assign directly to this variable sum. And later what we'll do is we wanted to find sum of all the elements. So what we need to do in that case is we wanted to take the earlier sum and add it to the element which we are extracting now at the present. So for that we can represent that like this. So sum equal to the previous sum plus now whatever the element I am extracting from the array, we need to add that element. And this is how we are going to find the sum of all the elements in the array. Now let's create a Java program and apply the same logic here. Let me create a new class. I'll name the class as sum of elements of an array. So what we'll do is we'll create an array and have some values assigned to it. Let's take the same values 2, 1, 9, 7, 8. You can take any values. In this example, as we are going through with this example, I'm giving the same values. Now, what we'll do is int will take some variable called sum to actually calculate the sum of the elements. Now, we'll write a for loop, and in this for loop, we'll take an index, and the index, if you observe, it has to start with 0 and it has to end with 4. But what we'll do is the elements can be any number of elements. So what we'll do is array dot length gives us the length of the array. Length of the array is 5. And if you see here, we are starting with 0 and ending with array dot length. Array dot length is 5. So I less than 5. I less than 5 in the sense array the loop starts with 0 and ends with 4. When once it becomes 5, I less than 5. So when once I becomes 5, so 5 less than 5 will be false. So it will come out. So it will stop at 4 when in the index is 4. This is the logic we are going to follow now. Now, what we wanted to do, we already declared the sum. We just need to do like this, sum equal to sum plus the third step plus the current number which we are extracting from the array. And you can see here, this is array. That's all. So once we extract all the elements from the array, the sum will be calculated for all the elements in the array. And once this condition becomes false, when this condition becomes false, when the index is 5, and we have only index till 4, So this condition will become false and it will exit from the loop. And finally what we'll do is we'll print the sum of the elements of the array. This is how we can find the sum of the elements of the array. Now let us execute this. And you can see some of the elements of the array is 27. Also what we'll do is we'll debug this. And yeah, let's debug this. Run. First we need to toggle the breakpoint. For that, just double click on the line where you want the execution to pass. So here it will stop. Now run debug as Java application. You can see here array has the elements whichever is specified in the array, and you can also see the length of the array here. Like how we can see is select this and do Control Shift I. Sorry, Control. Okay, this works for the methods. So anyway, we know the length as 5, so I less than 5, and once it is this condition is true for the first time, so you can do F6 or click on this icon, step over, and it enters into the loop. And for the first time sum is 0, and for the I value is 0, array of 0 is 2, so sum should become 2 now. You can see here sum becomes 2, and it will I plus plus I becomes 1 now. Now you can see array of 1 is 1, so the sum should become 3 now. Yes. And now I is 2, array of 2 is 9, 9 plus 3, it should become 12. And array of 4, this is 7 now, and you can see it's been added and it became 19 now. And for the last time, for the index 4, so the value is 8, and you can see the sum becomes 27 finally, and I value is, you can check here, it is 4. And once we execute this F6, I value becomes 5, and 5 less than 5 is false, so it should come out. Yeah, it comes out of the loop and prints the actual sum of the elements of the array. You can see that here in the console. So console went here. Let me take it to the screen below. Yeah, you can see the sum of elements in the array is 27. This is how we can debug and check the sum of the elements. And here, if you observe, you don't, you can actually write this using shorthand operator like this. We are writing sum equal to sum plus array of this one, right? This is equivalent to sum of array of I. You can also represent the same like this, sum equal to sum plus array of I. There seems to be some error, syntax error on tokens. They can be merged to form. All right, we should not give any space here. So this is called a shorthand operator, and this is equivalent to sum equal to sum plus array. We can also write it like this. And let's execute this for one more time. And this time what we'll do is we'll add 2 more elements. I added 2 5s so that the sum should be 10 more than the actual sum. The present sum is 27. It has to become 37 now. Now we'll run it and verify. Yeah, I want to save this. And you can see sum of the elements is 37. This is how you can verify the sum of the elements of the given array. And that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.